Welcome to the Place to Be Free podcast. I'm your host, Martha Blessing. I help anxious wanderers and spiritual seekers transform the energy and consciousness that has created their symptoms, pain, illness, and disease so they can take control of their mind and body to create the life, freedom, and well-being that they desire. I'm driven by the purpose of illuminating the potential in others to live their personal power by reconnecting them to the healer and truth within themselves. I'm widely known as a leader in quantum field mind-body medicine and spiritual self-transformation. For those that are serious about growing, healing, and expanding their consciousness, I'll lead you out of the disease and spiritual amnesia and into self-love, personal power, and living your fullest expression and greatest potential. To explore my work or connect with me and receive some free tools to get you moving forward on your path, you can visit marthablessing.com/free stuff. And if you feel called to support the podcast, please leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. The more support we receive, the more people we can reach. And together, you and I can create positive change in the world. I so appreciate your presence here, and I'm honored to serve as a guide or companion on your path. Now, on to the episode. Welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, I'm sharing with you an episode from my free 4th Fridays coaching sessions. And for those of you that don't know what those are, I offer free sessions on the 4th Friday of every month. And that is my service to the world, so to speak, for anyone that is searching and looking for help with their health and healing. This week, the reason why I decided to share this, number one, let me say that everyone who participates on these calls, I host them on Zoom, and anyone who participates already knows ahead of time that the sessions are being recorded and they have given their permission for it to be shared publicly, and they have given permission for it. Sometimes I share that on my websites so that people can learn and grow and understand from the conversations and the social learning. And other times they are on my YouTube channel. So I decided I wanted to share this one in the podcast this week because her questions are questions that apply and affect all of us. And I see people struggle with us every single day in my practice and my business. And so I wanted to help anyone understand the energetic causes and effects of having been someone who survived trauma and is working on healing and self-love and opening their heart. And also, the other question that we're addressing is, what is it like to live your purpose? How do you know what your purpose is? How do you find your purpose if you feel that you still haven't gotten those answers for what your purpose is? Without any further ado, I am going to share this coaching call and conversation with you, and I hope that you find it helpful, insightful, and you find something that you can take away from it. And of course, I will leave a link in the show notes for the free 4th Friday coaching calls, which are held on Zoom. I'll leave a link. You can register. They are free, but you do have to register for the event. And when you do, you'll get an email from me with the link to join us with the Zoom information. So enjoy. How can I achieve self-love, heal my heart emotionally, physically, open my heart, and release what no longer serves me? So let's start with that. What is your perception, Angela, of why your heart is closed?
A couple of things. One, from a lot of trauma, throughout my life. And the other thing is picking up on other people's energy. So like right now, what's going on out in the world, I'm picking up on that. And it's causing actual physical heart issues. The more I'm I don't know what word I'm trying to use. I'm not attracting it. But whatever I'm doing.
I've got you. Yeah, I understand. Okay. So you're an empath, obviously, and you're sensitive to energies.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things going on. I'm going to guess that you have not, or not even guess, I know from what you're telling me, you have not learned to manage your own energy.
Correct.
Yeah. And kind of classic where you are at, this is not unusual. When we have traumas, the tendency is for us to actually, what I call, shoot out of our bodies, right? We don't want to feel because that brings back the feeling. So we literally, let our energy go so that we don't have to feel those experiences.
Okay.
But we also can't feel the energy that keeps us grounded when we do that. So the big piece for you is to learn how to take back control and your power of managing your energy. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can do that. I don't know what you've done so far, and we won't get to it all in this amount of time, right? But that's the first piece is feeling, because you're feeling energy, but you're not controlling and managing and moving the energy and grounding yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. The other piece of what's going on in the world is leaking energy. So I understand that. It's a lot to take sometimes. But that's what gets us in our head. And part of that is the collective energy. And I say this with love, you buying into the story of the collective energy. Because it's a story. What's going on out there is a story about how we're not safe.
Okay.
And when your subconscious mind gets a hold of, I'm not safe, guess what it's doing? It's playing off the story of your trauma.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
When you have trauma, it's like, holy crap, I'm not safe in this world. Look at what happened to me. And that's where your subconscious mind, that loop that goes on, literally runs in a circle on the gerbil wheel saying, see, I told you it's not safe out there. I told you it's not safe. And you shut down. Like you shut down. It's not safe. The world's not safe. But that's not actually true. We have more exposure to what's going on in the world because of the internet. But our world is honestly no different than it's ever been. As far as we've always had, wars going on. We've always had politics going on. Like we've always had all of these things going on in the world. Does that make sense, Angela?
Yes.
Okay. So the way out, as I said, is you learning to manage your energy. And that is just an active practice. Okay. It's an active practice. It's something that you'll do every day. And the more that you do it, the easier it gets, and it builds so that you become, I know you think you're human, but you're really just a spiritual, energetic being in this physical human body, in this, right? And so
Yes.
everything is energy. And you have the ability to manage it. That's your free will. You have, no one can take that from you. But because of the subconscious programming, your mind is on a loop telling you this isn't safe.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you get into your, when you sort of get back into your body and your feeling sense, and it is a conscious choice and decision. That's the first step, is you make a conscious choice and decision. This is crap. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to take this anymore. I don't want to, this isn't my destiny. My destiny is to be a soul and be the light and come here and do my dharma, what I came here to do. And I'm going to choose that over the pain, over the fear, all those other things. And in the beginning, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it's minute to minute. The subconscious mind is insidious. It will just pull you off and trap you at every single turn. It's what it does. Right. And then we go back into, oh, I'm back here again. Like, really? I'm back here again. And then you have to do the reprogramming. So that's the second step, is first to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change it. I have the will. I have the ability. The only thing you're missing is the tools and the knowledge.
Okay.
That's the only thing that you're missing. And then you just have to stay on the course and continue to do the reprogramming every time something comes up, because that's what free will is. Free will is being able to use our mind in our favor for what it is we want to create. So recognize this, you are a master creator. Do you see that about yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
I can manifest. I'm getting stronger and stronger every day. Using some of the things like you're saying.
yeah.
So yes, I am a master creator.
And if you ever forget that, just recognize you've absolutely created exactly what you put your attention on. So the only thing you have to do is switch what you put your attention on and what your beliefs are and what your identity is. You get to choose your identity. Right now, you're just living from the story. And the traumas are hard. I don't minimize anybody's trauma, because there's a lot of crap goes on. And we don't know how to make our way out, because that's what the subconscious is tripping us up on. But you are not your trauma.
Well, I with the self-love, I've never had a problem until I think there was like a little shift in 2013. And the word I got was integrate. So it integrated my inner child, me, it integrated different aspects of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to feel her, but when I work on self-love, I'm closed off somehow.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Tell me what you're doing to work on the self-love.
Meditating, doing self-care, different things for self-care, being out in nature, doing things that I love to do, spending some time for myself. I usually give most of my time and energy to everything and everyone, the animals, my family, my friends, whatever. And then with my health issues, I don't have enough time by the end of the day for me. So I've switched it around. And in the morning, before I get out of bed, I try to visualize what my future is going to look like, how I'm going to feel, not the way that I do feel physically and emotionally. Do some meditating, some stretching, intermittent fasting.
When you visualize your future self, do you get into the feeling of being there and being her?
Yes.
Or are you only visualizing it in your mind?
Most of the time, yes. There are times when I can't.
Okay.
So I do it anyways,
Yeah.
just to give myself that time. But I know I have to have the feeling as well.
The feeling is
emotion.
the feeling is what moves it. And really it's about faith, right? And faith is the unseen.
Yes.
We want to see it first and then say, okay, I get it, I believe in it. No, it's the exact opposite, right? So it's a knowing, and getting into the feeling is what supercharges it.
Yes.
That is what makes it go out into the field and come back as you. So you have to, feel it inside of you as that person. So the next question I have for you is, if you are being her, okay, if you are being that future version of yourself, does she allow and tolerate the other things that you were telling me that you do? Putting everyone else first. The animals I can see, they need to be taken, but people not so much, right?
I don't visualize any of that. It's, so I guess no, because
yeah,
I'm not, visualizing. I mean, I'm visualizing myself, like serving and, or being of service, and
but you
having
can't give
fun
from an empty cup.
and having fun. So,
You can't
being
give from an empty
stronger.
cup.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Are you serving to validate yourself and to feel better about yourself?
No.
In the lacking of the self-love, are you trying to get that, like, feel yourself into being valuable and valued by serving?
No.
Okay.
What so like my other questions like flow into this, where
Yeah.
what I would like to open my heart, love myself, and in the service would be finding what my purpose is, so that because I love teaching, so but I love learning as well. So I would like to learn or use whatever my purpose is, whatever God's purpose for me is, to serve him, and to teach and learn at the same time. So I want to do what makes me happy, but then also be able to give back.
So when you do what makes you happy, you will be giving back. When you do what makes you happy, you will be giving back. You won't be able to not serve.
Okay.
Right? So, knowing what your purpose is and doing God's will is your choice. God's will is something that is already in you. And it is something that resonates for you, in you, that only you do. That's what your purpose is. And if you're not sure what that is, then you have to become still enough to feel it. And that's like all these questions are leading to this place, and that is allowing yourself to be still enough and feel safe enough to let everything else fall away, and for you to actually hear and feel what that is.
Okay.
Right? I would encourage you to ask the question, if I had all the time and all the money in the world, what would I be, do, and have? That's a good place to start.
Okay.
because it's in you. And probably, I'm going to guess from what I see and what I feel, is that your mind is just talking you out of it. You already have the answer, but because of the traumas and the not believing in yourself, or not loving yourself and believing in all of it, it's blocking you from really seeing it, right? You think you can't have it. And so that's what the subconscious mind does. It puts us into confusion. It puts us into confusion so we can just keep spinning in our comfort zone, right? Which is anything but comfortable. That's what it is.
And another challenge is that there are so many things that I love to do that I'm out like this rather than honing in on.
Well, and that's also part of the trick, right? Like not being able to get focused and not being able to get centered. And I get that. I mean, my journey, I came through from being a nurse to, being a holistic energy healing practitioner, to being an Ayurvedic practitioner, to having a wellness center, to, like the journey, right? So I had all those tools in my toolbox, but they all led me to this place of the spiritual and the illuminating the potential and helping people understand why they're so stuck, is that they don't know their power, they don't know their energy, and they don't understand that the subconscious mind is keeping them stuck, and they don't understand how to use the real, true, universal spiritual laws, right? We get a lot of the wiki woo and all of the other stuff, and it only gets us to like this certain place. Like you're doing everything you can do, and you don't know that there's actually a place beyond this, because we've been programmed to only see as far as you've gotten. Right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a level past where you are, but we're so programmed to be in this space where we are, we don't know.
Yeah, it's like hitting the ceiling, but you can't get through the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yay. You absolutely can. So
and so part of my challenge is standing in my own power, but then also having the tools, because of the energy changes, mine as well. A lot of the grounding techniques I've learned over the years, they're just not working. And that's part of my challenge, is I have to stay grounded so that I can be present.
Yes, and a lot of what's taught spiritually, I was just having a conversation about this with someone, and a lot of what's taught spiritually is this idea of, my third eye and opening up and all of this, what I call top heavy energy. And that's not nirvana at all. You manage your energy and your intuition in your physical body. And that's where the health challenges come in, because if our energy is all up here, we don't have enough energy and circuits down here to run our body. But for you, what I can see in the heart energy is there's a tremendous amount of grief and sadness about not feeling safe.
Okay.
From the trauma. There's a tremendous amount of energy on not feeling safe. And when you feel safe, then you'll feel more grounded. So it's releasing this and the subconscious programming and the identity and the story that you've taken on from the trauma. That is the lie, right? That's the identity. When you can release this, it can come through, and then you're like, I do belong here.
Okay.
Right? Because that's what your root chakra and your grounding is. It's your safety and your security and your right to be here.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what left you is, it left you feeling this is not safe. I've got to shut this down. I've got to protect myself. And so you cannot get into your solar plexus, which is your self-worth, your self-esteem, your power, your dharma, and the abundance and the being rooted in it and knowing that it is your dharma and your path, and nothing's going to stop you. Not even, because there's always going to be something outside yourself. So
Right.
you're living by circumstances in what's out there.
Okay.
Right. And so when you really get fully into managing the energy and releasing this, everything can open. And you can say, to hell with what's going on out there. I know who I am, and I know what I'm going to do. And I know that I came here to do it, and nothing's going to stop me. Because you don't want to come back and do this again.
I know I'm not.
We're not doing the same dance. You might come back, but you're not doing the same dance.
I feel that yeah.
Well, then might as well get it right.
Right.
Yeah, and complete the karma for this lifetime. Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to the Place to Be Free podcast. And if you liked what you heard and you want to know more, go to marthablessing.com/free stuff.